Okay, folks, Backyard Bill here again. Today I'm going to try to do a little instruction video on how to build something similar to this. This is my little throw together 3-year-old squirrel feeder. My favorite little tree rats I'm always taking pictures of. Not very hard to build actually. I use mostly scrap wood. Here's my newer one that I built just out of scrap wood. This is a bigger platform. The wife didn't like the way the squirrels were sitting on it. She was afraid they just weren't using it enough. So I put a little wider platform on it. This, by the way, is about 10 inches. These are 6 inches. Same concept. Easy to fill. The glass is removable plexiglass. And I'll show you how I did this. And a few easy steps. I'm a keeper of scrap. When I built this shed, I obviously had a little extra wood left over and some extra vinyl left over and bits and pieces that I throw in little corners here and there that I don't know if you all do that, but I do it just in case one day that I use them. So follow me. We need I'll show you how I go about building these little things. Yeah, tell you what, while I'm here, I'll stand here and kind of give you an overall picture of what it is. These the sides here are 1x2s, or 1x4s. I'm sorry, 1x4s. Each of them are 6 inches long. This is 6 inches. The back is 6 inches. The sides are 6 inches. So I just put them together. These two attach to the back. Back attaches to the fence. So, and then I got a little hinge over here. Got a little hinge on this side to hold the top. It's not tight. It don't have to be. I mean, this is just for little squirrels. This is a 1x10 or 1x8x10. It's 10 inches here, 8 inches here. And then it wasn't wide enough or long enough to suit the wife, so I put on 2 more inches all the way around. So it's 10x12. We'll see. It's scrap wood. Doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, I use scrap wood for everything. I didn't purchase brand new wood. Purchased it from somebody that was tearing their fence down. Different project altogether. That's new wood though. That's new wood. And here's my project table. I don't have all my big stuff out because I had something done with my back. Anyway, that's what I buy right here. It's 8x10 by 0.09, about 1/10 of an inch thick. Not very thick at all. This thing runs, I think it runs like $3, $4 at your favorite multi-million-dollar hardware stores. And here's my little 6 inch or 4 inch pieces that I cut off of an old scrap piece of wood that I had. As you can see, I got all kinds of different widths and thicknesses of scrap wood everywhere. Old vinyl siding, which I cut little strips out of to show you all what that's all about. So you know what the window's about, you know what the sides are about. What I do is I take my little Dremel and a little bit, and I cut down a little groove. And this is what the glass slides into. You slide it on down there, and boom, there it fits in there. Nice and pretty. Just like that. And when I put the two together, I haven't cut this one yet, but that's where my stop is, and that's where the top's going to be. So it'll be sort of kind of like this up there. And in order to come on, hold still for me, guys. Thank you. In order to get the seeds or whatever you put in there to come down, you have to have a slope coming in this angle like so to push them out. So what I do is I put this slick side of the vinyl and I bend the bottom like so, and then I form a little shelf, a droop shelf, just like that, and then I stick it in there and I tack it up on the top, and I tack it down here so that it'll stay. And when you put your seeds in, your seeds slide down and they go bumping up against the glass that's here. And I've got a 1/2 inch gap at the bottom down here, so the seeds kind of spill out, and the gravity just keeps feeding them out. And of course, the little tree rats are gonna grab them out with their little feet. So that's my project. I guess I could show you how I would do it, but I'm going to have to cool down the Google Glass again. It's getting hot. And I'm just going to show you what I do is I just hold it here, and I kind of move the board back and forth, and I get my little groove, and I've got it set up to where my little bit won't go any farther in there, so that I got a perfect little cut. I'll grind this out, and then I'll come over one more, and that's about, I don't know, 3/8? No. 3/16. There we go, 3/16. Sorry about that. Which is 0.9 something, whatever. And it's pretty simple and easy to do. You mark off your 6-inch pieces, or whack them off. You mark your 1/2 inch strip, 1/2 inch here, stop a 1/2 inch low, mark a 1/2 inch in. You get your, put them all together like I showed you there, back up against 1, 2 on it, and then the others on the bottom, the big bottom, and then you make this come in here, and you force it to do the little bend there with the bottom like this to push it out, push all the seeds down and out, and there you go. Project completed. Oh yeah, the other thing is I'm using 2.5 inch long, 3 inch. These are 3 inches. I was using the 2.5 inches on the other, but I ran out. Mr. Notorious Scrapper. I have scraps and scraps and scraps, but I didn't have enough. Here's the little hinges that I bought. $1.67 for 2 at your favorite big multi-million-dollar hardware store. And let's see, I keep all my old stuff, scraps and scraps and scraps. And I'll pull a bracket out of here and flatten it out to put on the bottom of it to hold it up, and then I put a screw through the back. All right, anyways, there we go. That's a squirrel feeder in a nutshell. Nutshell, get it? Alrighty, folks. I'm gonna cut it down here and maybe take a video of me doing a little bit here and there on it. Okay, in progress. What I've done is once before I explained how I used my Dremel to cut the little slots in the board. I went all the way down to 1/2 inch. Now you got to make sure you got left and right here, folks. You know, when you put them together here, you don't want to just do all of them the same. You don't want to have all of them, you know, on the same side. You got to have one on each side, so that they're pretty close. They don't have to be perfect. It's a squirrel feeder. What I've done, I've got a 10 by 13 piece of, or 12 by 13 piece of board here. It's 12 inches wide, and it's 1 inch thick. Actually, it's 3/4. That's the way finished wood is. It's a little bowed because it's old. It doesn't matter. What I've done is I took my 2 sides that's going to hold the glass right here, and I mounted them to a back like so. And I mounted these together on the inside. So my little sliding glass piece is going to go through here now. And I mounted the tall back piece to these side pieces, like right there. You can see that. And then I mounted this back piece to the bottom here first. And I kept them loose because the board is bowed. And I put the front ones in. What I did is I took my little handy dandy measuring stick. You can take a piece of wood or whatever, and I measured from the edge here to the outer board, and I did the same thing on the back. And as you can see, I marked the outer and the front, and then I just drilled a couple holes here, screwed them down, and now I have a nice 2-inch gap at the top and a 2-inch gap at the bottom, which means these little thingies that I made are going to be the same width apart all the way down. So now all I have to do is, since I got my other scrap board, is get my little handy dandy hinge, and I'll mount this board right here with my hinge so that it opens up and I can pour in the feed. And then it'll look just like this when it's done. Isn't that neat? And I have the little thingy. I'll show you when I'm done here. All right, I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to go ahead and cut my plexiglass. I'll show you how I'm going to do that real quick here. What I do is I have a grinding bit, a cutting bit, that goes on my Dremel. So what I'll take my Dremel here, I usually keep it on my bench. Now here's that little wood bit that I have. It's actually a little teeny weeny saw blade, circular saw blade. And when I did my cuts, it's actually the depth of the width, or the height of that little saw blade. And of course it's twice as wide, which is just perfect for this plexiglass. Oh, speaking of which, while I'm standing here, before I do the plexiglass, I was going to show you, well, no, I'll do that later. What we'll do here is take this off. And I have my little handy dandy bench here. I have a piece of aluminum, old piece of an aluminum angled aluminum. It's 1/2 by 3/4. And I'll, look at this mess. I'll clamp, I'm going to move this out to where it sticks out a bit. And I'll take a clamp, and I'll clamp this piece of aluminum down right here. And of course I'll move all my stuff out of the way. Right here. And I'll take my grinder, and I'll just go like so. Ooh, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I'll cut me a piece until it's approximately this wide. I believe this is the width that I had on my last one. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. I am wrong. Okay, so I cut my width second. I cut my width a second. I can't see what I'm doing here. Anyway, I'll cut it and get back with you. Okay, so I've got the top put on it now. Yay! I got my glass cut, or plexiglass that is, and I have it all set up, ready to take the paper off, protective paper off of it. But now the sliding part I was telling you about. Now this is a vinyl siding that comes off your house, and I just cut a strip of it off, and I made sure it fits down equally inside there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it here, and then I'm going to put 2 screws down here, and then I'm going to bend it up and form it into a shape. I'll show you. What I got is my extra super long drill extension here, and some old sheet metal screws that I have. So I'm going to take it down here like so, and put it about a 1/2 inch back here is where I want my bend. So I want my screw head. I want my screw head to be about a 1/2 inch past back in the back, past this the groove I've cut in. So I want it to be about a 1/2 inch back, so that the sunflower seeds and nuts and stuff have a chance to fall out. Now, if you're making one for peanuts, obviously you're going to make it bigger. The gaps are going to be about 1 inch instead of a 1/2 inch. They're going to be 1 inch. So what I'll do here is I'll put my screw down and about a 1/2 inch back. Oops, I keep moving my hand. Okay, about a 1/2 inch. We'll put the screw in. There we go. There's one. Now I want to try to keep it even so that I can bend it up. So I'll take a couple of test bends here. And I'll put my other one in. Sorry about the non-video there, I got bifocals on. So I'll put my second one in at about a 1/2 inch back. Okay, there we have that. Now, I'm going to bend my plastic up, and push it against the back up top here, and push the bottom over as tight as I can get it. Kind of bend it down too much so that it there's a crease form. See this little bow that I'm getting out of it here? That's what I want. I want a little bow so that when I put in the stuff that comes down, it forces, gravity forces it to come out. And of course the little squirrels, they can get their little paws in here and they'll dig the nuts out. So I don't want it to go up all the way. So I'm going to mark it and cut it. Okay, I had a pencil. Darn it. Alright, I'm going to go get a pencil over here. I keep moving my pencils around. There we go. So I'm going to mark it here. Oh, it's on the ground underneath my feet. I don't want it to go all the way up because I really don't need a whole lot of plastic there. So I'm going to take and mark it right about here. And then I'm going to pull it out. That's why it's on the ground. I keep throwing them down there. I'm going to try to pull it out. Guess I got this one a little wide. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to cut it off. Ta-da! And then I'm going to push it back in there like it was. And I'm going to flatten the top out. I didn't cut this one exactly right now. See how I got my little, that's got a little bit of a shovel out groove there. Then I'll take my other two little screws here and I will put them on the top. There's one and number two. And there we have it. Now, all I have to do is I'm going to put a mount hole in the middle of the top here. I always try to pre-drill. This is old wood, hardwood. It's off of skids and packing crates and all kinds of other stuff when I find it. I'm going to take and peel off the protective covering that the plexiglass has on it. Ooh, nice and pretty clean, clear. And stick it in my slide holes here. And look at there. See how that a little half-inch little gap down there in the bottom? A little rain cover for the top. Plenty of room for the little squirrel to be on. Mama will be happy about that. And I only make them 6 inches tall. They don't need to be any taller. I have a 14-ounce cup or something, and I fill them mostly up to here for like one squirrel. And tree rat, whatever you want to call it. Now, about my angle bracket to mount it with, I'll have a screw on the top. And let's take this off here since I don't need the extension on any longer. Oop. Doggone. Oh, don't take it back out. Oh. You guys get to hear me groan and moan. Groan and moan, huh? Alright. Now when you get out there to a tree, I'm going to do mine to a fence. Obviously you got to take out your glass. Do a pre-drill hole. All in. Back it out till the screw's not sticking out anymore. Now I'll put this back in temporarily until I get it out there to the fence. But since it's only going to have a little squirrel on it, and it doesn't weigh a whole lot, I'm going to put a bracket on the bottom down here that will keep it held from doing anything. It'll wobble a little bit probably on the fence, but other than that, I don't think it'll. Oh man. Yeah, I'm sitting down. Liquid refreshment. With the whistle. Okay, let's see what I got here real quick. I have bits and pieces and pieces and bits and pieces. So I have, perfect, some kind of a little mirror bracket, I think. So I'm running on 7 minutes here. Should let the glass cool down, but I think I have enough time to do a little pound in here. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, ow. I don't need it to be perfect. All I need it to do is to form an L. Actually, you know, pretty much there. Noise, noise, noise. Excuse me. And I only need a small screw to put in the bottom, so let's find us a small screw real quick. Small fat screw, that is. And here we have... Nope, that's a standard head. I don't like a standard head. Give me a false small fat screw. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Here we go. We have a small fat screw. Okay. We will align said small fat screw up with our bracket. Bracket in the middle here. There's my mark in the center. And we're going to kind of get it to where it's even. I'm going to mark it with my pencil. I like to do this with wood anyway. Give me a little mark right there. So I kind of know where the center is. And I'll go ahead and it's hot, but hey, it's easier to do it that way. Okay, I'm not perfect. I ain't Mr. Perfect, so there we go. Now, we have a screw to go through the top. We have a bracket being held on with another screw. I have to get one more screw to put through the bottom here, to hold it so it doesn't go anywhere. So let's get another fat screw. Since it's going to be holding a little bit of weight, I want one that is particularly has a little bit of meat to it, maybe. Here we have one. Yeah, it's got a little meat to it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So, folks, let's take a journey. Why do I do this for tree rats? Because they're cute. These little gray ones down south here are really cute. And it's about time for me to feed them, so they might actually be out running around waiting for me to come out here. There's my girl. Are you chasing my babies? Hey, there's one, yeah. Alright, I'm coming. I'm coming, Mama Squirrel. I got another one to put up. It's gonna get bright sun here. Alrighty then. We're gonna mount this one right here. Sorry about the sun, folks. I'm going to mount this one since there's a 2x4 right there. I'm going to mount that screw to that 2x4. Alright. Slide my glass in. Oh, going to be kind of hard there, isn't it? I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult. All right. Ta-da! And there we have it. My happy little squirrel feeder matches the other happy little squirrel feeder which somebody's been eating off of, and my old beat up 3-year-old still in working. Been pulled apart by a raccoon once or twice. Ooh, goodness, right into my water. I'm gonna have to watch that, ain't I? Hi, sweetie girl. Alrighty, well there you go, there's the video. I'll put it all together and we'll have happy little squirrels wherever she's at.